Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be doing another sort of commentary video, but this one won't be a review like last week's was. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite series of all time, Guitar Hero. I really hope you're enjoying this kind of content because it is really fun for me to make them. In the last video, I said that I'd probably only be posting once a month. Well, scratch that. I decided that since we're all in quarantine and I have much more time than I thought I would, I post one video a week to keep some of you entertained. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace. Guitar Hero is a game that on paper sounds pretty boring. Just a boring, basic simulation game that wouldn't really amount to anything. But Guitar Hero would end up becoming one of the biggest rhythm game franchises of all time, and would end up becoming a household name among rhythm game players. My name is Barron, and today we're going to be discussing the rise and the inevitable fall of Guitar Hero. Enjoy. 2005, a company by the name of Red Octane noticed a game that was exclusively in Japan called Guitar Freaks. They used the same type of guitar used in the Guitar Hero series and had a similar sort of system for hitting notes. The game was a massive success in Japanese arcades, and Red Octane noticed this as a massive opportunity to bring it over to the Western markets and make some money off of it. So they enlisted Harmonix, a company that had already created rhythm games such as Amplitude and Karaoke Revolution, and they created the first Guitar Hero game in 2005 with a budget of $1 million, and they released it on the PlayStation 2. The game was a huge success, especially considering it was released on the PlayStation 2, a console that was reaching the end of its life cycle and not many people were buying them anymore, or buying games for them. The success of the first Guitar Hero game prompted Harmonix and Red Octane to publish Guitar Hero 2 in 2006, this time releasing it on the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox 360. Guitar Hero 2 was more refined than GH1, and since it was released on the 360, it was able to reach a much bigger market and make a lot more profit. It also had really diverse and unique setlist of songs, ranging from stuff like Lynyrd Skynyrd's Freebird to stuff like Megadeth's Hangar 18. The game also came with a really cool guitar for the 360 version. I mean, look at this. Isn't it the best plastic guitar you've ever seen? A short time after the release of Guitar Hero 2, money-hungry Activision noticed the success of the franchise and decided to step in and purchase Red Octane for $100 million in 2006, as they saw this company as a goldmine. Harmonix was not included in this purchase, however, and since they were no longer attached to the Guitar Hero brand, they decided to go ahead and make Rock Band in 2007, which was like Guitar Hero, but it allowed you to play as all parts of the band, unlike Guitar Hero that was just guitar and bass. Rock Band would end up being Guitar Hero's biggest competitor down the line, and would be one of the biggest factors in the game's downfall. Activision continued to publish Guitar Hero games, and with the help of game developing company Neversoft, who helped make the Tony Hawk franchises, they released Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock in 2007. This was the peak of Guitar Hero games, selling over 1.4 million copies within the first week of its release, which is insane. It was much higher quality, and the engine was a lot more forgiving than the previous Guitar Hero games, which resonated a lot with the fans. In 2007, it looked like Guitar Hero was at the top of the world. This is when Activision kind of shot themselves in the foot when they were trying to milk this franchise for all it was worth. In June of 2008, they released Guitar Hero On Tour for the DS, which had a weird guitar peripheral that you stuck in the side of the DS and you plucked the screen. It was all very bizarre. And then they released Guitar Hero Aerosmith, which was essentially just DLC for Guitar Hero 3, but Activision released it as a whole separate game, which fans didn't really appreciate because they sold it at a full price game. At this point, Activision were noticing the success of Rock Band and decided to try and shake it up and take some of the stuff Rock Band used to keep people interested. So in October 2008, they released Guitar Hero World Tour, which was basically Guitar Hero 4, but they didn't want to call it that, and it let you play as the whole band. This was cool development, and it made the series feel a bit more renewed to the fans, although they did pretty much just copy Rock Band. In 2009, Guitar Hero completely overdid it with the amount of games they were releasing. They put out Guitar Hero Metallica and Guitar Hero Van Halen, which both just let you play as the band members, and could have just been released as DLC for World Tour, but instead they were sold as full price games, just as Aerosmith was. They also put out Guitar Hero Smash Hits, which was just a mix of all the best songs from past Guitar Hero games. They put out Band Hero, which was essentially just World Tour but with a worse setlist and a different name. And they released DJ Hero, which was a DJ version of Guitar Hero with a turntable, and it was a pretty weird game. They also released the main Guitar Hero game for that year, Guitar Hero 5, which, like World Tour, used the 4 instruments, and was an okay game. although the engine was extremely tight and it made it a very difficult game to play. I bought this game about a year ago and I tried playing it recently and I just could not get used to the engine because it was so hard to hit the notes on time. Rock Band also released many games this year, like the Beatles Rock Band, a Lego version for some reason, and a version for the iOS. Just a lot of rhythm games for 1 year. At this point, the rhythm genre and demand for new games was slowing down, and not as many people were interested in buying new games and guitars and drums every year. In 2010, Activision released Guitar Hero 6 Warriors of Rock, which brought in this idea of each character having their own special abilities. It was all just very bizarre and weird for a game that was centered around playing a plastic guitar to rock songs. They also released a sequel to DJ Hero, DJ Hero 2, in the same year, which was not needed at all, but they still gave it to us. The success of the Guitar Hero franchise had dropped massively due to the saturation of the market by Activision. To put it in perspective, Guitar Hero 3 and World Tour had sold 1.4 million and 534,000 copies respectively in their first weeks, whereas Guitar Hero 6 only sold 86,000 copies, which is a massive decrease, and it just showed you that the demand for the new games was just getting lower and lower and lower. In this same year, Harmonix released Rock Band 3, and knowing that the rhythm genre was slowing down, they tried to innovate their game. They added in the keyboard to a list of instruments you could play, and they added in a pro mode, which allowed you to actually play the instruments with the songs if you had a MIDI adapter you could hook into your instrument. They added cymbals to the drums, which made it a lot more realistic to play, and overall just tried really hard to innovate from the rhythm norm. But even with these innovations, the game did pretty terribly, selling less than 10,000 copies in its first week of release. This is the last we would see for both of these brands for 5 years, with Guitar Hero cancelling the production of their game that was due to come out in 2011, and we saw nothing on the GH front from Activision until 2015, when they released Guitar Hero Live. The concept of this game was to make it feel like you were playing a live concert in front of loads of people, and Activision were hoping it would spark this new interest in the series. However, some of the acting of the audience at the concerts was overdone, and it just wasn't the experience that I think Activision wanted it to be. It also had a Guitar Hero TV mode, which let you play along to hundreds of songs with their music videos playing in the background. However, in 2018, Activision announced they would be shutting down the Guitar Hero TV mode as it was just too expensive to maintain the license for all the songs, which dropped the number of songs in the setlist from the hundreds that Activision had built up over the years to the base 42 in the Guitar Hero Live mode, which stopped a lot of people from playing it, and it just dropped a massive amount of interest in the series. Also in this year, Harmonix released Rock Band 4, which did okay, selling 134,000 copies in the first week. But by this point, most people didn't really want to have to pay for a new game and new instruments anymore. In 2017, a website called Clone Hero was created, which lets you play any song in the world for free, and I'll put a link to download that below if you're interested. This is what most people use to play Guitar Hero now, and it still has a very active community behind it. I think the main reason for the downfall of Guitar Hero was Activision and Rock Band overdoing the amount of games they were putting out each year, just because they both wanted to milk both their franchises for what it was worth. Even though there aren't any more Guitar Hero games coming out, it will still live on as a staple in the rhythm franchise and will always be loved by rhythm game players. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Guitar Hero is a series of games I've been a fan of for years now, and I figured that it would be an interesting thing for people to learn about, and I actually learned a lot doing this video. And especially since I'm starting to do these commentary review sort of videos now, I figured that now would be the best time to talk about it. If you have any suggestions of games or series you want me to do a review or a history of, make sure to leave them down in the comments below and I'll definitely consider them. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, share this video around, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.